What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. Before we get into the charts and do some technical analysis, I'd like to talk about an idea that I had. Just looking at this news about the tariffs, there's a little thought that went on, and I'm running with it, and I want to share that with you guys. So if that sounds good to you, hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get into it, my friends. So here we are. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Reading this here. As per letters sent to various countries yesterday, in addition to letters that will be sent today, tomorrow, and for the next short period of time, tariffs will start being paid on August 1st. There has been no change to this date, and there will be no change to this date. In other words, all money will be due and payable starting August 1st. No extensions will be granted. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, you might read this and think, there's no extensions happening, and it's going to happen no matter what. He doesn't want to make a deal. I'm not reading that. I don't see that as a thing. I think that there will be maybe not extensions, but agreements that are made, and these tariffs won't be imposed. Maybe not for all countries, but for some countries, there will probably be a deal that's made beforehand, right? I don't think that no extensions will be granted is the same thing as, if you come to my desk with a deal and I'm okay with it and it sounds good to me, that we won't keep that we will still give you tariffs. Trump likes to make deals. He likes to make deals. And this is really what this is hey, you've got until August 1st, you've got less than 30 days to come to my table and tell me something that I want to hear to take these tariffs off of you. That's what I'm hearing. And here's the deal. Here's why I think this is actually a good thing, okay? Let's go back in time. We're going to go back in time, okay? Here, January 20th, whenever he was inaugurated, we knew that he was going to be putting tariffs on, right? That's one of the things that he campaigned for, was that he'd be putting tariffs. Tariff is the most beautiful word in the English dictionary. You know what I think it is? Tariff. And then that's what he said. And so we knew tariffs were coming. And I think that's why we sold off. The markets were, let's say, uncertain of tariffs, right? They were uncertain. The news was building it out like this would be the end of the economy, that we would start conflicts with other countries, everything would go up in prices, people would not be able to afford anything, basic needs like food and stuff, that's how it was all perceived back here, right? And the tariffs got called off. They got called off, whenever they got called off, and the markets started to recover, okay? So now that there's some tariffs, not like a whole slew of tariffs like there were back here, but there's a good bit of tariffs that are going to be imposed on various countries. The market thinks that we're going to see another instance like this. The stock market, the crypto markets are going to drop. But here's the deal. They have 1 month to get their acts together, and this was the test run, right? They know he's serious. They know these tariffs will happen, and they don't want to go through all this again just to clear it up later and give him what he wants anyways, right? There's going to be deals that are made. And again, this is not the point. This is not the eye-opening thing that I want to offer, right? Last night I was thinking, these tariffs might cause a little bit of a drop, and a little bit of a drop we got, sure, but I thought it might cause a little bit more of a drop. I'm starting to think these tariffs will actually cause the market to pump, right? You buy the hype, you sell the news whenever it comes to good events, right? You sell the hype and buy the news whenever it comes to bad events, right? And kind of, not always, but negative perceived events don't necessarily mean that it'll be a negative outcome for the price, is what I'm trying to offer. Back here, we did not know what kind of impact the tariffs would have, but the public sentiment was that it would be bad. Now, and even the mainstream media was all over that, man, like flies to Shizer, you know what I mean? Now, have you guys noticed over the past month specifically, that mainstream media and economists, whatever the hell, whoever certifies that they're smart or not, these people that were once saying that the tariffs would be terrible and a catastrophe for the economy, not just for America but around the world, they're now saying that they worked, that the tariffs worked. And it doesn't matter what people say, guys. It doesn't matter what the media is saying. We know they worked. We have a balance sheet. We have billions of dollars that got raked in from the tariffs, literally from tariffs that were being imposed. We made money off of them. I live in the United States. I live in an expensive town, an expensive area. Cost of goods did not go up for me. Cost of gas did not go up for me. There's I can pay less than $3 a gallon for gas here, man. I'm just saying, it was not as bad as the media made it out to be, as people perceived it to be. And we're aware of that now. Now we're aware that what are tariffs? They are good for the economy. They do not raise rates of inflation. They've actually lowered rates of inflation. All these things that Trump said, whether you like him or not, this is where you have to have a critical mind that is capable of critical thinking, okay? You can't just be stuck in your bias ways. If you hate him, that's okay. Hate him, right? I don't hate Trump. I think he's a smart guy, right? And I voted for him personally. If we're getting to that, that doesn't mean that you have to hate me. That doesn't mean that I have to hate you, right? You can think that he's a terrible person, whatever. Maybe he is. I don't know him. All I know is that he's smart and that we have proven results with these tariffs, you guys. And the tariffs actually did not affect the economy negatively. And there was a much larger slew of them back here than we have going on now. We have a deadline, a time frame, and we've already played ball once, okay? The only country that seems to not want to play ball with America at this point is Canada, right? And oh well, you know, as I said on X.com, your maple syrup. You know what I mean? That's you're going to be paying a lot more for your maple syrup. But actually, most maple syrup in America actually comes from Vermont, so it's not actually that big of a deal. And we make better whiskey in America, anyways. But shout out to the Canadians. We love Canadian. I love Canadians, man. I really like some of the best people. Really, truly, they are. I got a couple stories about some Canadians, man, but good stories, fun stories. Crazy, you guys are crazier. Like you would think that you're just a bunch of docile little snow bunnies, but man, you guys are wild in the right atmospheres, but in a good way. Anyways, but the only countries that seem not to be wanting to play ball is Canada. But other than that, and I don't think it's going to impact our economy at all. They don't account for a substantial part of our GDP. China's playing ball, other countries are playing ball, and we know now that tariffs are not something that's a detriment to the economy. Sure, we had a lull, but this was more sentiment-based. This was based in uncertainty. We don't have uncertainty now. The people who are smart, the people with a lot of money, they have come around, the top economists of the world, right, that were saying this was bad back here, they understand now it's good. They were just saying it last week, you guys. They were just saying how Trump was right about the tariffs. So here's my thoughts. In short, this is good news. This is going to cause the markets to pump. That's my thoughts. I don't know what you think, but that's my thoughts there. $108.3 thousand is the price right now. Here we are, 7 hours, 36 minutes left in the day. Let's get started on this TA. 108.3K, yeah. Little bit of volatility. I saw a post from Crypto Lark, or Lark Davis. I call him Crypto Lark, because that's what, I don't know why he changed. Crypto Lark is such a better... Anyways, Lark Davis... he was saying that Bitcoin volatility is at lows that we haven't seen all year, or like in years, in like 7 years or something. I forget what he said, but dude, it's like, this has been so volatile. I don't know what you mean. Like, this is, maybe I'm just a degenerate and I'm looking at the 15-minute time frames too much, but man, it's been very volatile, up and down and up and down and up and down. We're consolidating here. You know, I like to say different behavior begets different results, and here, I think right now we are experiencing different behavior than we experienced here at this high, than we experienced here at this high, right? You came up, you came down, you came up, you came down. Here, you're just all around. You're wiggling through. Right? And this little wiggle, this little dance might give you a chance to rip through the roof and see new all-time highs. And this, to the average person who might think they're being smart because of what happened before, might not think, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about this whole theory. It's a theory, but I like to think that I have the capability to think critically. And what we know is that the tariffs are actually not bad for the economy. So Trump just said, hey guys, we're going to make the economy even better than it is. Because here's the deal. If the tariffs get placed, it worked out last time. It's going to work out this time. If they don't get put in place, it's because we made a deal, which is going to help out the trade for America, and it's going to be good for the economy, and stock markets and everything will rally. It's a win-win, can't-lose situation. It really is. And the market, look, this news is 24 minutes old. People knew about this before it happened, right? People knew about this. Trump, people on the inside, he posts this 24 minutes. 24 minutes has gone by. People have had time. How many people have seen this already? It says 17K. That's not right. Oh, I guess 17,500 views. Maybe there's other people. Maybe it hasn't hit the markets yet. I don't know. But I would assume that with this much time, the front runners of stuff like this, they've already made their moves. And we're not dumping, guys. We're actually pumping into this news. We're actually moving, or not pumping, but we're moving up at least. Looking at this on a 1 hour time frame, getting into the TA. I'm going to stop rambling so much. Looking at the RSI here, I like this RSI. I like it a lot. It's actually a pretty good RSI. Very volatile. Very, very volatile. This is what I mean. I don't know why Lark is saying we've seen low levels of volatility, because man, getting overbought, oversold, overbought, oversold, overbought, oversold, and we didn't get oversold actually. But this is the representation of volatility as far as the RSI is concerned. You don't normally range between the overbought and the oversold zone. You'll be oversold, and you will, I mean, here I guess you got overbought, right? You'll get oversold, you'll continue to get oversold and continue to get oversold. And then you get overbought and you continue to get overbought, right? And you bounce off to this line and then you continue to get overbought. And then eventually you transition down. It's not this thing that just ping-pongs between the two forever. But here we are, I think, starting to show strength. Yes, we rejected off the overbought zone here, but we also bounced off the oversold zone. After getting overbought the last two times, one time we got oversold, getting overbought here and not getting oversold here, that's a good thing. Sure, we didn't get overbought now, but I think we're just, getting a higher low in this kind of momentary trend. We're going to get overbought on this next run. Absolutely we are. Why? Because again, it's not common to go overbought to oversold, and we didn't go oversold. We got near it, but we didn't get there. It's common to get overbought, come down, get overbought again, which is probably what we're going to do. And then maybe we get oversold, or we start to move sideways. I don't know. That might be over the weekend or something like this. I think that this week is actually going to be beneficial and bullish as hell, you guys. 108.5K, baby. That's what we're talking about. Let's go. I want to see it rip. I would like to see it rip. Look at the 1 hour time frame here, bouncing off the 50. You get below the 50 and then back above it. We want to see that. That's good stuff. It would make me think that we're going higher. This liquidation map, you guys, it's tricky. It's definitely tricky because looking at this here, we are closer to liquidating these levels, but I've noticed, and I've been aware of this heat map and the maps for liquidations before. I've just never really paid too much attention to them. Because I've heard mixed things about them. But I've noticed this, okay? When you have a kind of a gap like this, right? There's a huge gap in the liquidity. If this red line, the price, was on this side of the gap, we would likely come back down. If we're on this side of the gap, we'd come back up, which doesn't make sense to me. If we were over here and there's a huge gap down here, why wouldn't we just move up higher to clear out the liquidity and make money for the people who are for the exchanges that are liquidating these prices? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. But maybe the exchanges are the ones going long and short and keeping it in this range and playing around with anybody who's trying to map out this map here. I don't know. That's just a theory in my head. But what I've noticed, if you're not paying attention to what I'm saying here, is that whenever we have these kind of gaps, I notice the price ranges between it, if that makes any sense at all. Looking at the 1 day time frame here on Binance, let's see. I mean, right now, and I feel like the 1 day you don't get those gaps as often. The 1 day, it's different than the 30 day. I like to use them both together. And right now we've got more shorts to the upside. I think we will move up to above 109K here pretty soon, you guys. We'll probably clear it out. I wouldn't be surprised if we made a shot to 110K from here. Genuinely, this is a little shakeout. We found support, immaculate support, right at prior resistance, right at prior support right here. And now we're having a positive reaction. Now, it's too early to tell. We got 31 minutes left in this 1 hour time frame. We could absolutely come back down and close red. And if we do, that's okay. From a high here to a low there. I'm going to take this low, not the fake out low. We could go to the 236 at about $108,000, about 108.4K. That's not the end of the world, right? A little bit of a move down could happen. From a low here to a high there, we actually, okay, well, damn, we tipped. We went right to the golden ratio. And look at that. Is that right off of it? Look at the positive. Look at that reaction, you guys. After this news, you guys, I'm onto something here. You're onto it too now. We're all onto it, baby. Tariffs equal pump. Times are different now. Why? Again, sentiment around the tariffs is different. It was uncertain. The real economists, the people who know what they're talking about, were never bearish on the tariffs, right? It was never perceived as a bad thing. But the majority of these experts out there were saying it'd be the end of our frickin' economy, that it would cause, they never believed that. They just said that because they didn't like Trump, right? And they probably still don't like Trump, but now for the sake of their pride and the sake of their reputation, they have to call a spade a spade. And we know whether or not you have these experts saying that tariffs are good or not, we've seen the results. We've got the results. We're in profit. The United States is in profit because of these tariffs, not in deficit. I have not experienced I can't think of a single good of mine that has gone up in price. I've heard of companies, I've heard of shipping companies or receiving companies, whatever, locally in the United States who have had problems. Different organizations, ordering stuff from China, they've had problems. They've had to cancel orders and stuff like that. I've heard of that, and it's terrible for certain businesses. And I'm not trying to act like this is completely unscathed for some people. But for the people who see the long term, for the people who are in it for even the midterm, not even just the short term, a little bit more in the short term, right? You're aware that this is a good thing. That this is actually only going to boost the American economy. It's not going to hurt the American economy. And potentially the economies around the world too. We'll see. I don't, and that's I think kind of the deal here. At least make things more fair. The whole thing here is that these are just we're just putting tariffs if a country has tariffs on us, reciprocated tariffs, or some other kind of fees and taxes or whatever, right? But I'm not the most experted person in this. Don't listen to me. But I'm just saying. I think now the sentiment is different. Therefore, different reaction. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. 4-hour time frame here. The 4-hour RSI is it's a beautiful little bullish bouquet of brilliance. Is that alliteration? Is that what that is? Whenever you do a bunch of B's in a row, I don't know. What is alliteration? Example of alliteration. Where was that thing? Hold on. I thought I saw it. Oh, all right, whatever. Yeah. Yes, it was. Yes. BTC here. Beautiful, bullish bouquet of brilliance, right? Blissfully blistering in the bashing of the, I don't know. Looking like we want to get overbought. You got overbought here. You got overbought again. You barely got oversold, rejected it, overbought, bouncing off the 40, rejecting the 60, bouncing off the 40, more bullish, more time spent above the 50 equals a more bullish environment, okay? Coming off of this bearish environment here, we're transitioning to a more bullish time, and I think that while these have been nice little teasers here, we're going to get a real rip into the overbought zone here, and that should, my friends, that should take us out of this range that we're in right now. That should take us out of this and that we move higher, okay? Now, is this a diamond top or is it not? I want to call it a diamond top. It's kind of funky. Granted, it is kind of funky, but man, it almost looks perfect to me. Like, it really does. It's kind of like a rectangle, really. But diamond tops can be rectangles, actually, like this. It's this little thing right here in the middle that gives it away. And the thing is, with diamond tops, sometimes you do break out and then you pull back into it. Sometimes you break out and you continue to go, but they're known for high velocity moves. I could see us going down if we had some catastrophic stuff going on in the markets, but with my theory on the tariffs, I actually don't see us going down. And just because it's a diamond top doesn't mean that you have to break down to move up, right? If we were to break down, I'm just drawing this roughly, we'd probably go down to about 103K, which would still be an overall higher low. I mean, if we take a low here to a high there, low here to a high there, it's a little bit more extreme, but hey, there's the golden ratio right there. It's not a bad area to bounce at 102.6K there. It's also areas that we found support before, but I don't think we're going to get that chance. I think, again, looking at the price here, if we were going to get that chance, it would have happened already. It would have happened already. Here, we've tried harder, we've tried yet again, and now we're trying lesser, right? Bearish news. Price is up afterwards. I don't know, man. To me, it's not dumping at the very least from here. And maybe I'm counting my chickens before they hatch. But to me, I would perceive this 4-hour RSI as a bullish kind of thing, not a bearish kind of thing. And I think we're about to run to the overbought zone whenever we break out of this little local consolidation phase here in the RSI. 4-hour time frame does not mean it has to happen right now, this minute, as soon as you watch this video. That's not what it means. But sometime over the coming days or the next few days, sure, absolutely. And we'll have a breakout, I suppose, once we get above about 109.3K. 109.3K, which, looking at the liquidation map, 109.3, that would take us right here, actually, right in the kind of heart of this first zone here. And then that might start a cascade of bullish things. We might get a short squeeze, my friends. But time will tell. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if I have anything else that I want to say. Don't hate me if the price drops down to 102K. It could happen, and even then it would be bullish, but I have a hard time seeing that happen. If it does happen, just be aware, 102.7K here. It's about a 5 to a 6% drop. If Bitcoin drops 5 to 6%, you guys, that would imply then that the rest of the markets would drop 10 to 20%, maybe, something like that, right? The rest of the altcoins would, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Time will tell. We'll see how it goes. I got nothing else for you guys, though. Thank you all for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.